Hey, what's up YouTube? TJ here from Archer Outdoors. I finally finished my elevated deer blind I promised months ago. Just kidding. I finished it last summer. I was a little worried about, how I was gonna hold up with 3 feet of snow this winter and the weather and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to build it and wait till the winter was over to do the review, and it held up great. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, so I got this battle area all opened up, as you can see from the beginning of the video to now. I made a bunch of panels. Each panel kind of opens up individually, so you can have like one open or multiple open all the way around. When I was building this, there was kind of worry I had with weight. I used those elevator brackets that were discussed in the first video I posted. I'll put the link for that down below. So I went pretty light with this. But yeah, it's pretty cool how each panel can kind of open. I think I did make them a little big, and I'll explain why here in a little bit, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, I'll take you inside and show you. All right, so starting in the back here, I just got a little ladder I built heading up into the blind. Those are just 2x4s. I did 6 of them, and they're about 24 inches each. And then I just did 2 slats going down. It's pretty sturdy. Just cut them and then angled them up and screwed them right into the base that I built over the summer. Going up into here, it's pretty spacious actually. Got enough room for 2 small lawn chairs actually, one on either side. And then there's some space here in the middle as well. All right, so now to go over the actual construction of the deer blind. I'm just gonna start my way at the bottom, work my way up to the top, kind of go over everything I did. So if you watched my first video, you'll remember that the base, the platform, is 4 feet by 8 feet wide. It's just a piece of pressure treated plywood I put down on top of the frame. Once I started on the top, I went all non-pressure treated wood. I did that because honestly it's a little cheaper, but also it's a lot lighter than pressure treated. When I got the elevator brackets, I believe it said they can only hold like 1,000 pounds. So I was trying to keep it light. If you think about how much wood goes into the structure, the overall weight of that, and then once you get 1 or 2 people up here, the weight of the people as well. I weigh about 200 pounds, so that's a factor as well. So after I built the platform, I basically just framed this in with 2x4s all the way around. Even under the door, it's all the way around. I was a little concerned about if I got water in here for it to drain, but I've actually never had that problem. I might end up drilling a hole somewhere or something if that ever becomes a problem, but it hasn't been so far. So I framed it in, and then I used, like I said, non-pressure treated wood for the walls, and I just ran 2x4s up. I put the 2x4 sideways, as you can see here. Normally they'd be oriented this way for like a normal wall in a house. I wanted a little extra room in here, so putting them flat kind of gave me like, 1.5 inches on either side for some little extra space, which I can appreciate. Okay, so working our way up. The walls here, I did 2 2x4s on each corner, and then I did 3 in the center. This right here is the front. I just did 1 flat one in the center, and then for the door in the back, I did 1 on either side of the door. So basically, when all these windows are down, it's just basically posts going all around. There's not actual like wall space left over once I've folded all the windows down. I really like how this is set up. There's 6 windows total. And the cool thing is, you can have 1 down if it's really cold out and it's just you. You can have all 6 down if it's in the summer and you're just sitting up here drinking beer. It's pretty nice to have that kind of flexibility. The windows here, so they're about 37 inches wide and about 20 or 30 inches tall. And I basically just put these little brackets in here, and I can release them, and then each window just hinges down. I added these little straps with a little eye bolt in there, and they just hinge down and open up individually. So when I was building this, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do for the windows. I kind of toyed around with plexiglass. I thought about having them open out. I thought about having them open up like I think most people would do. I like that they open down, because I have a lot more space here. If they opened up, I would have done like some sort of pulley system or something like that, which I think would work pretty well. But I was worried about if they were open and they were only open like this high, that might interfere with the shot if I'm holding a rifle or especially with a bow. So I like that they hinge down and I have all this space right here. And then just to close them, I just have to reach down, pull the strap up. I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I might have made them a little bit too big. A couple times I've been up here in the wintertime, I got the buddy heater going, and with all this open space right here, it stays pretty cold, but I mean, you're hunting, so you should just dress in layers and you'll be fine. I have considered kind of cutting out the center here and then making a second kind of window that folds down, but I don't know, they work, so don't fix it if it ain't broke. All right, so each one of these windows works the same way all the way around. I got these little brackets here, and all they do is you release them, and then I drilled holes into the 2x4 so they fit right in there, and I have them on both sides so they can open up just like that. Okay, so after the windows, moving on up, obviously I put cross pieces below and above each window, so each window has 2x4s all the way around, framed in, and they're pretty sturdy. On the outside I put hinges. They're honestly just like door hinges for inside of a house, and they all just hinge down, but the way I did it is the brackets screwed right into the 2x4s, so they're all pretty solid. The inside of the window here, obviously if you can see this, but the plywood is a little bit larger than the space, so when this is all closed up, it's actually all flush on the outside, and I just ripped down more 2x4s and screwed them from the outside in and made this frame, and they're all pretty snug. They work pretty good. I left maybe a 1/16 through an 1/8 of an inch all the way around, just in case with weather and temperature, if they flex a little bit, they'll still open, but they all open and close pretty easily. I really can't complain. So for the ceiling, obviously I did 2x4s on the floor, 2x4s for each corner, and then for the ceiling, same thing, I just framed it all the way around. Honestly, I don't remember how high the ceiling is or how long I cut the 2x4s. Really, you could do it any way you want. I'm 6 foot, so I wanted to have enough headroom in here. I got, a couple inches left over, but that's really up to you. If you're a shorter person, I'm sure you could get away with cutting it a little shorter. Completely up to you. I didn't leave them at full length, and one of the reasons why is because on the outside, the plywood I have running down wouldn't have covered over top of the platform I built, so I wanted a little bit of overlap there just for water. So I did cut them a little shorter, and then as you can see, this roof up here is angled. So for the roof, I got 2x6s, and I cut the 2x6s in half, and then I ripped those halves in half, and then each one of those pieces left over, I cut at an angle, and I ran those all the way down. I like how it turned out. It worked out really well. One of the concerns I had when I was building this was the durability of it, I guess. Obviously it's solid, but for the roof I ended up doing shingles. So I would not recommend this, but I got on top, so when my weight was on this side where we have a 1/4 inch of 2x6 up here, and then I'm banging nails into 1/4 inch plywood, it made me a little nervous. So I would definitely recommend getting a ladder or something and doing it from the outside. But yeah, I have these all the way across. It is angled toward the stairs instead of the front. Probably if I were to do this again, I probably would have angled it the other way, but honestly I didn't really have any issues with snow falling on the stairs or on the door or anything getting in, so it's really not that big of a deal. As far as lighting, so there's no electricity up here. I got these small lights right here. They're actually solar paneled. They're made by Lucy, and there's just a little solar panel on top. Kind of zoom in or bring them up so you can see that. And they're pretty neat. They change a bunch of different colors. which I actually like because sometimes early morning or you know, late at night, like in and outside of hunting hours, what I'll do is I'll put a you know, a lower light like red or something, so I'm not giving my my hunting blind away as much. Kind of let the animals still want to come through here, and they're just inflatable, so you blow into them, and I have two of them, and when they get kind of low on battery, I just deflate them and I throw them up on the roof. Honestly, I forget about them. I find them out in the yard a couple days later and inflate them and hang them back up. So for the door, same thing I was talking about earlier, just 2x4s underneath. This is a little bit of a design flaw, I guess. There's no way for water to drain out of there, but I've never actually had a leak in here, so it's not really an issue I've ran into. But the door is the same design as the windows. It's just a piece of 1/4 inch non-pressure treated plywood, and I just did a rip down 2x4 frame around it. I put a handle on the inside right here, and the way that this door closes actually is another one of those little pieces on the top here, and it will stay. But I just put that on there just in case the wind doesn't, you know, blow the door open when I'm about to shoot the nice buck I've been looking for a while, and then I scared away doing something stupid. Alright, so if you watched the first video I made, I talked about possibly putting a wood stove in here. I'm still kind of up in the air about that. So when I built this, I did kind of prep it for that in case it's something I decide to do in the future. This was kind of an afterthought, and what I did was I just framed in some hardy backer on here. I put a piece on the floor and a piece against this wall, as you can see. No mortar or anything yet. So I was kind of leaning toward a wood stove. Obviously I could just run a chimney straight up and out the top. I was a little worried about the smell with animals, and you know, people go back and forth about smells and all that kind of stuff. But what I ended up doing was I just put this big metal box in here I had laying around, and I just used a buddy heater. The buddy heater works pretty good. Obviously, like what I was talking about with the large windows, sometimes it's hard to get it pretty warm in here. But you know, if I just angle it toward myself, I've been fine. And like I said, just wear hunting clothes. And then this box is pretty cool. I could use it as a table. As you can see, I got a bunch of crap on there right now, and I just store like extra propane tanks up here. I also store some netting in there that I put over the openings for the windows. You know, if you're shooting, some netting at 5 yards isn't gonna really make a difference. But so yeah, I just have like extra kind of hunting blind equipment gear in this box right here that also acts as a little table. So one design flaw that I did kind of run into was, here's the latch for the door on the outside. This does work, so I'm probably not going to mess with it, honestly, but if I have my lock here and it's locked, now if I put this window down, the window goes down on top of this latch, and then I'm not able to open the door. This back window piece right here doesn't really look down into anything, so it's not really one I normally open. But if you're making your own deer blind, that might be something to consider, kind of changing the design on that a little bit. And then this is what I also mentioned. So my plywood for the outside does overlap with the platform I originally built. I just did that so there's a little bit of extra space in there just for water to kind of run off. After I built the whole top and before I stained it, I did go around and I got some like tar caulking, some outdoor stuff, and I sealed up all these gaps going all the way around. So obviously not for the window parts, but all these gaps up around the roof, I did all that as well. So for the roof part, I did use shingles. I thought about doing tin, but I ended up using shingles instead. The front there is just, I got 2 bags and I had some extra shingles, so I figured might as well use them. And then I just did it like a normal roof, kind of did my edge piece, shingles on there, and then ran them down the front. All right, so that's all I got for you. If you have any questions, just comment below. I know I didn't really get into specific sizes of like all the boards and everything I cut. I'm guessing if you're going to build a blind like this, you're going to kind of customize it and do it yourself. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to put any kind of measurements or material list or anything like that. I can comment below the video. But yeah, I love this thing. It works great. It's really secure and steady. Obviously, if you don't have carpentry experience, like, you know, learn before you do this. It can be dangerous, like going up on the roof, use a ladder. all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you could like and subscribe, I appreciate it, and thanks for watching.